welcome to the Section 325 podcast.
The second half.
Well, what a weekend of football.
It was a good weekend of football.
Have you recovered?
I have recovered. Broncos lost, and it took me a couple days to get back to reality. And it's just a football game, as my wife might say. But yeah, Broncos took a heartbreaking loss. It's heartbreaking because it's the Chiefs, because they're undefeated.
Well, it was a chip shot.
And it looked like it was going to be an easy win. Like, I would almost rather have our kicker miss the field goal and lose that way.
So you can blame yourselves.
Yes.
Instead of
because again,
on one side of the line.
Again, you look at the game and the refs. There was a call earlier in the game. Again, you had all game to forget about what was called or not called. But refs made a call on third down after we sacked Mahomes quickly, and they said that there was illegal hands to the face downfield. They did not show the replay. The next day, I saw a bird's eye view of that play. There was no call. There was no penalty, and they just, of course, threw the flag because that's what Mahomes and the refs do. And did you hear Mahomes?
I heard Mahomes asking the ref why he's not letting him know when someone's closer to him.
Yep, he was on the mic, and things like that just makes you want to hate. And then it makes you wonder and makes you hate the team even more.
The girl who threw the flag that didn't really happen,
Sarah Thomas,
was taking pictures with.
I did hear that. It was Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift's and FaceTiming family members and.
Yeah.
Dude, how could you even feel good if that's all happening? It's all rigged. How would you even feel good about playing a game that you're not really competing at?
Yeah.
When you already know the outcome.
Or even like the referees, why would you feel good, rigging a game like that? Or any game, Well,
obviously,
I don't know. I'm still frustrated because we were that close. We had Mahomes all game long. We had the lead all the way up till fourth quarter. Yeah, we kind of slacked off on offensive side. We kind of played a little conservative, but that last drive, we took the ball. We burned 6 minutes off the clock. We knew if we kicked it too early and give Mahomes extra time on the clock,
they ran it perfectly.
We ran it perfectly. And some say that we should have just been aggressive and gone for the touchdown, but no, what we did was perfect. I still trust the team. Yeah, it sucks that we're 5-5, but it proves to us that we can compete against a team like the Chiefs, and we can compete in this league. Right now, we're sitting in the 7th seed in the playoff, but luckily. That's
good.
So looking forward, and I'll even move into my statement right now. Moving forward, let's run the table. I can see us winning the next 7 games because they have a chip on their shoulder, and they might be angry for the next 7 wins. But I could still see us go at least 5 games winning.
So do you think the refs are in on the fix? If there is a fix, do you think the refs are in on it, or do you think the teams know the outcome? Because when was the last time you saw the entire side of a line get blown up over
like that?
The guy didn't even look like he tried. One of the guys, I watched the replay over and over.
I mean, it's hard for me to say that it's scripted like that, because then the other team would have to be involved, and that team would be the Broncos, and I just can't see someone slacking off just on a play like that. But,
well,
I don't know.
So what was your statement of the week again?
We're moving forward. Let's just run the table. And Bo, I trust. I mean, he's going to be a great quarterback moving forward in the future for Denver. So, my whole statement was just my rant.
Your rant, but yeah, I mean, it's acceptable. It's okay. It's a safe place here on the Section 325 podcast. Bronco fans, it was a tough loss. You put yourself. It doesn't matter who you're rooting for. You put yourself in that position. It hurts.
Yeah, it hurts. This was a tougher loss than Super Bowl 48.
Yeah,
because in Super Bowl 48, we knew that we were losing the game.
It was over from the first snap.
From the very first play.
So
yeah. So anyway, just
All right, let me get into my statement. So, my statement: my team didn't play this weekend. It was a successful weekend. We didn't lose, but we didn't win. We didn't do anything, but we did get rid of one of our starting linebackers, who to me was one of the weak links on our defense. But anyway, my statement is: how important is an offensive line? Okay, Jared Goff has been playing all year with the best offensive line in football, most likely. The Texans came in and they looked like a playoff team. It looked like a playoff game. They were attacking Jared Goff, and we saw how it affected him. He wasn't back there able to throw 13 of 13 in the first half, multiple touchdowns. No, the guy threw 5 interceptions.
Yeah,
The problem is there was a time there where they were throwing interceptions back and forth to each other that kind of eliminated
I've never seen
what
so many
could have
interceptions in a
hurt.
game.
It could have really hurt the Lions, but Texans kept turning the ball over as well. And then you just kind of saw it. You just kind of felt it. They came out at halftime. You know they're a good team. They're going to put up a fight. And Campbell at halftime was like, we're going to get a couple turnovers. We have to get a couple interceptions. You'll see us do that. And boom.
Boom. During the sideline interview after they come out of the
Yeah.
tunnel, the first play of the game, as he's doing this interview, it's like, yeah, we need to get a turnover. Boom, turnover.
Fortunately, it turned it right back over. But what they did was they started grounding and pounding. Instead of it was a minute there where they were trying to get it all at once and get it all at once, both teams. And then they started just grinding, pounding. He started dumping side to sideline. Really unique plays. I saw some unique plays that Detroit runs that they ran a wide receiver screen that looked like they were pitching the ball to the left side. The receiver ran in motion to the right side. And the whole defense went this way. He threw it quick out to the wide receiver, and all the offensive linemen were already out there ready to block. I was like, what a play. And Asham Amron Brown, however you say his name.
Amron St. Brown.
Dude, that guy, he's good. But what we saw was, if any of you guys are struggling, I put the Seahawks in there. We're struggling on the offensive line. And you get pissed off at Geno Smith, and you're like, pull Geno out. I don't want him. But Geno's numbers are really good considering he has the second most hits, second most sacks, and he has the least amount of time to throw out of all the offensive lines. Look how it affected a great team like the Lions and Jared Goff when the offensive line isn't playing up to par. So how important, I guess, long statement, but an offensive line is so important. It's so important.
It is, honestly. You see these quarterbacks getting paid, the big bucks, but then they're not successful. They don't get those Super Bowls or the playoff runs like you might see. Tom Brady, he's a perfect example. He never took a big pay raise. He wanted to put that money towards the defense and offensive line because he
knew that Fox was going to pay him all that money in the broadcast booth.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
So anyway, offensive line is key. Like I've kind of always said that too. When you see your quarterback get paid, you're just like, oh, geez, okay, now how is our offensive line? How long is that going to last? So, yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, let's move along. Great statements. All right, here we are. Week 10 pick results. I don't even know.
Actually, we all picked the same except for that very first one. So, yeah, you got the Giants and I got the Panthers.
Wow.
So that
everything's just going your way.
No, actually, this was a really bad week. I lost all fantasy leagues of mine. Broncos lost at the last second. And, yeah, and I lost the office pool by 1 point.
Well, I don't know how the Falcons lose to the Saints. Panthers, obviously, I guess they're every bit as good as the Giants and went into overtime, so they got the nod because of the fumble.
Yeah.
Niners took care of the Bucks, but
that was a good game.
3 field goals. I see a guy punching the long snapper in the face. Like, what's going on?
And again, Baker, he is just a fighter. He's a great player.
Baker is a competitor.
Yes.
And most guys are out there just trying not to make mistakes.
I mean, that
Baker's a competitor.
Yeah, that fourth down stiff arm to Bosa, and he makes the throw as he's stiff arming him.
What is this thing about Bosa being a racist? You see, they're like, oh,
Oh,
because he's
really?
a white guy, you can't pull him down or something. I was like, what? What does that even mean? I've never heard him
No, I've
do
never
or say.
No.
Anyway.
He just had that mega hat on like the other week.
Yeah, what does that have to do with anything? No, but they've been calling that prior to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for the last several years, they've been calling him a racist.
Huh.
Anyway, Vikings take care of the Jaguars barely.
I mean,
no touchdowns scored.
No touchdowns. So my rankings will show them. I'll explain more.
Bills taking care of the Colts. Chargers taking care of the Titans. And, of course, the Lions over the Texans. So, again, you gained a game on me, and I'm not happy about it. But I had a good week.
Yeah.
You had a great week.
You had a good one. I had a better one.
Yeah, so here we are. Now I'm 5 games behind. I'm trying to gain, and I'm losing traction. All right, Wolves Power Ranks coming in at number 10.
Chargers. They deserve to be where they're at right now.
They're kind of the quiet
they were
on the block.
I mean, at the beginning of the year, this hype of Harbaugh coming in, and then I think they went 2-2, and I think they've lost one game since. So they're looking good. They're a competitor. Yeah. They are gonna be maybe a team to take down the Chiefs because they only lost by a possession when they played them earlier in the season. So no, they're good. They're up there in the 10.
Slowly putting together a nice season. They move in. Eagles only at number 9.
Yeah, I debating on moving them, but they played the Cowboys, and I think anyone right now can just beat up on the Cowboys. So
they have some problems. When your wide receiver couldn't see the ball, I don't buy it for a second.
No,
I think he gave up. I think the whole team's given up. It's not the coaching's fault. That coach has won a Super Bowl.
Or the stadium's fault with the light shining in.
Yeah, I'm telling you, CeeDee Lamb is bad news. He's another diva, another guy that'll ruin your team, just like a Odell Beckham or a
Devontae Adams.
I mean, I'm just like, dude, what makes you think that you're above the team just because you're a wide receiver?
Mm-hmm.
Offensive linemen can catch the ball in the end zone. They throw. You're not doing anything special just because you can run and jump. They do that in the NBA. I don't understand. Okay. Commanders, great. Tough loss. Pittsburgh's good. Commanders are good. It had to go somewhere, and I'm telling you, my prediction of the Steelers is coming true. I really like it, and Russell Wilson might be taking him to the promised land.
Might be.
But the Commanders might meet him there.
Yeah.
So they moved down. It was an unfortunate loss. They played really well.
Yeah.
Packers holding steady.
They were on a bye. It sucks to be on a bye and move down one, but when you'll see who's in the top 10 or top 5.
Vikings.
Same thing with Vikings. If you can't score a touchdown against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and somehow they still won the game. So they just moved down one spot.
There we go, top 5.
Because I have the Ravens. They had a good, exciting win against the Bengals on Thursday night. So
just edging out the Bengals, man, putting up points and they just can't win.
A lot of games are like that with them. I feel like so.
Yeah,
Ravens did a good. I think they're at this point where they're going to be that second half team moving forward in the season. So
Lamar looked great.
Yep,
Lamar looked great. Well, they're playing the Steelers this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Big game. Well, I think that's part of our everything coming up. So we're excited about that. Finally, some good divisions to talk about in football.
That's why we had to get rid of the first ones.
I didn't even. It was not fun. Let's talk about the South anyway.
Steelers, they jumped up big. So I'm sure you're happy about that.
I am. I mean, I think I'm over the whole Russell Wilson thing. When he went to Denver, I was like, good riddance.
And I'm over it too. Even though we're still paying him, but I'm kind of over it too. I'm happy that he's doing.
It's working out for everybody. It seems to be.
Because I'm happy with Bo. So and Bo I trust.
Yeah, there you go. Bills holding steady. Chiefs holding steady. And again,
I did not have the Chiefs. They're 9-0, but Lions are 8-1.
I think most of your experts are picking the Lions number 1, especially after playing a crappy game and winning.
Here's looking at these two games. Again, Chiefs are just getting lucky on these wins. One possession games that they're winning by. And I mean, if you look at it, if it went the other way around, they would be 2-8
Mm.
or 2-6 or whatever. 2-7, I guess it would be. But Lions, they proved on Sunday night, down 16 points, their quarterback throwing 5 interceptions. It's never been done before, and they came back and won it. So that proves to me that they are still number one team.
I mean, they didn't stop. They kept competing.
They didn't give up. A lot of teams might
The
have just,
defense cranked it up. Texans didn't score in the second half.
and a lot of teams would have given up, probably benched the quarterback if he had a 5th pick. And yeah, just
It had
they proved that they are number one.
You know what I was reminded by in that game was the 2014 season when the Seahawks went back to their back-to-back Super Bowl after they beat the Broncos, and they're down. I think it was 16-3 to the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, yeah.
And everything they need to line up.
I think
lined up.
Russell had 3 picks in the first quarter.
He ended up with 4.
4, okay.
4 picks on the game. He didn't even have 5. But they overcame. They stuck together. The defense shut down Aaron Rodgers, didn't let him score till their last drive to tie it up and go into overtime. So it was like I was thinking, okay, good teams. I thought this at halftime. Good teams can make things happen and overcome. I've seen it happen because the Seahawks were really good back then, and they did it. They did it. Of course, it wasn't at the near level of going to the Super Bowl like the Seahawks, but a regular season game. But these are the kind of things that give you the belief to know that if you blow a play, you mess up, you can come back, your team's going to have your back. Not one guy quit on that team. Unlike the Dallas Cowboys, the Raiders, other teams like that are just quitting. I saw the Dolphins do it earlier this year when Tua wasn't around.
Or the Super Bowl Tom Brady and the Patriots won against Atlanta.
Yeah.
They were down 28-3 in the late third quarter. So
yeah, sorry to bring that up, Atlanta.
I know. Hey, you're doing great this year. Sorry about your loss too, though. But
yeah,
we're still cheering for you.
How do you lose to the Saints? Divisional review. Finally, we get some good divisions.
I had to save the good divisions for last.
So NFC North, AFC North, probably 2 of the best divisions in football right now.
Right now, yep.
So let's.
I mean, last year AFC North at this point in the last year, all 4 of them were probably in the playoff bound. And then your second half teams in the season starts to come out. But again, Steelers, Ravens, Bengals. Bengals still have a shot. I would still. They're in the hunt. They have a decent schedule. They do have to play Steelers and Ravens. They have to play most of their division, but it's a doable schedule.
Let's dive into it. Both of us picked the Lions at the beginning of the year to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl.
I had Lions and the Ravens. So
you did. You had Lions and the Ravens. I had the Lions and the Chiefs. However, I did pick the Steelers to win the division, but we're half a game apart. So Steelers are right there playing great.
I mean, they play
Justin
against
Fields,
each other.
He held down the fort until Russell was healthy. I still don't understand about all of that. Maybe someday we'll find out.
Yeah.
But Russell's that throw he made to their new wide receiver,
Mike Williams.
Oh my gosh! I was driving. I left your house.
Okay.
And I turned it on because I wanted to watch the end of it as I was driving. So I put it in front of, and they're like, "Okay, was it 4th down or 3rd and long or something crazy?"
Yeah, I think it was 3rd down.
It was 3rd down.
And Russell does his little Russell art.
They were bringing the heat out. He had pressure, and he just threw it up into the perfect spot. And Mike Williams basket catched it like Willie Mays. It was awesome. And then did you see Mike Williams put something, posted it, and then he put #redline.
Oh.
Little shot at Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, that's hilarious.
We could talk about that quickly. Aaron Rodgers used to play for the Packers. The Packers are in the NFC North, and
here he is.
Should he hang it up? I was reading today.
They're 3-7.
Should he retire?
Man, it's just funny
does
because
he come back and fix his legacy, or does he come back and ruin it even more?
I don't know, because you look at the last 3 years of the Jets at this point after 10 games. Zach Wilson is a better quarterback than Rodgers is, winning percentage wise, with the Jets. But man, it just makes it's a little funny to just sit back and watch like how he came in thinking that he has this hyped up team, and last year and gets injured first series of the game, goes out for the whole year, comes back, and then somehow he gets his coach fired, his offensive
Well, let's
coordinator
talk about that
demoted.
for a second. His coach getting fired. Because you remember when
Yeah,
there was a game, I think it was a Monday night game,
he shoved
and
him.
he shoved. What was said? Do we know what he
I
said to
don't
him?
know. I think what happened is that head coach wanted to celebrate him, like, "Hey, great drive," type of thing, and wanted to like hug him, like, "Yeah, good job." And I don't know if it was more of like, "Hey, get off
Well,
me," or
Aaron said
like,
after the game, he said
"Yeah, that's right."
Coach doesn't like hugs. But Aaron didn't have that
I
smirk on his face. He
I
had a
don't know.
serious look, and the other guy just
Again,
kind of looked away, like, oh.
you know,
But you read body language, and it did not read good.
it
And
did
then, of
not
course,
look
he's
good.
fired,
I
and
think, yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is the GM of the Jets now, and can't even. Maybe he should just be the GM because he can't throw the ball anymore. Apparently, I don't know how the wheels just fall off that fast. You go from MVP status to you have your old
Well,
team. He has his old
he
team.
has his ego. Like he thinks he's better than everyone. He thinks he is the king.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
we got off
Anyway,
track a little bit, but yeah.
yeah,
So to
we
go
had
back,
our shot with the East AFC East 2 weeks ago.
yeah, and it sounds like the Bears might be tanking it a little bit. They just fired Mike
Their offensive,
Waldron, their
yep,
offensive
offensive
coordinator.
coordinator.
Used to be Seahawks offensive coordinator. We could have told you he was no good. So it took them 9 games to figure it out, and good luck, Shane Waldron. But I don't know how they fix that. They had a nice little run going. They have the Hail Mary by the Commanders, and they can't score a touchdown in 2 straight games, I believe, since that
No,
happened. So not good.
so it's funny at the beginning of the year when Caleb Williams told his punter that they wouldn't be using him much.
Mm, he's probably got the sorest leg in all of NFL. Anyway, so take out the Bears 2 weeks ago. Man, that was it. Everybody was looking
Everyone,
good.
yeah. I mean, that whole division looked good.
Yeah, everyone was like 4-3 or 5-1 or 6-1. So, but right here we got to pay attention. Steelers and Ravens, they're playing this weekend. This is going to come down to the wire. This is back. This rivalry is back more than
Mm-hmm.
ever.
Be careful of the Bengals too. Like they can sneak in.
Bengals could.
Could. I mean, looking at the whole AFC conference, Bengals could still be 9-8 at the end of the year and still be in the playoffs.
Lions, I think, are going to run away with a little bit. I think the Vikings might be slipping. Quarterback play, no touchdown this last week. Packers are just going to be kind of steady Eddie. I don't think there's anything exciting about them, but they're not bad. I think that they could definitely make some noise in the playoffs.
Yeah, they'll get the wild card for sure.
But so anyway, let's move on. This is what we've been waiting for, Wolves. Oh, we got to make our picks. We got to make our
Yeah.
picks. Okay, here we go. Let's line these up for the NFC AFC North. Ooh, the game to watch. Okay,
One more. There we go.
okay, Bengals.
So I'll go first. I got Packers. Packers at Bears. Packers are coming off a bye, and they're doing everything that they can. They own the Bears, so
And they brought in, speaking of the Jets head coach, they brought him in as a defensive advisor.
yeah. So
So he's going to advise the Packers on how to keep the Bears out of the end zone still.
Yep.
So I think I got the Packers as well in that game. The Bears, until they can turn it around, I can't pick them. Sorry. Jaguars at the Lions. I think the Jags they're competing.
They're competing.
They're the opposite of the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, things are not going their way. The London game that they played in, just again, just last minute situations. They almost beat the Vikings. They almost
with
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyway, I got the Lions for sure.
Lions all the way for me as well. Vikings at the Titans. Titans they're fighting, but the Vikings are not playing up to par right now. Do they get things rolling against the Titans? This is a good game to get them back on track.
And Titans had a great game over the weekend. I didn't win, but
Levis is back in there. I saw.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Titans. Vikings. They're. I mean, is Sam Darnold the same old Sam Darnold now?
I think teams probably got a little film on him, and they
Yeah,
kind of saw how he was doing, and maybe it's only stuff that Sam Darnold can run. Maybe he's got weaknesses, and they knew it as he was going to be the backup to start the season behind the
yeah,
rookie. So
yeah. I'm going with Titans.
okay, I'll take the Vikings because
Okay.
I need to catch up. Browns at the
Say,
Saints, the toilet bowl, but the Saints
yeah,
coming off a nice victory over the
yeah. Why not? You
Falcons.
know,
Browns and the Saints. Gosh, this is a tough one. I
that's
think I'm gonna take the Browns in this one because I think they're playing better with Jameson. I think they have a better defense than the Saints.
yeah.
So I'm gonna take the Browns on the
And
road.
I'll take the Saints because you know, when you look at the Saints' offense, it's still the same from the beginning of the year. Carr's back. Um, you know, Kamara is still in the backfield. I think Olave is still in concussion protocol. He might be free this week. So he didn't play last week,
Well, you know how teams
but
get that interim coach. They play
they
good
play
for
good for
1 week,
week.
and
Yeah,
then the
but
Raiders know very well they do it every season. So
no, I'll still stick with the Saints.
all right, I got the Browns, and then the game. Let's wait for that one. Let's go to
The
the Sunday
Bengals.
game. The
Yeah,
Bengals
there
at
we
the
go.
Chargers.
Um, like I said, Bengals have a doable schedule that they can run, but unfortunately, they do play the Chargers first, where Chargers are already sitting in the wild card. I think sitting at number 6 seed. With that, Chargers know that they have to win games, and Bengals, if they do get this game, they are maybe one game behind,
They would own the tiebreaker
and
over a.
they would own the tiebreaker against the Chargers. They will play the Broncos later, so that would be an interesting game later in the year. This one's tough for me.
It's a tough pick.
You know what? I'm going with Bengals because
Oh,
because they are still putting up 30 some points.
I wanted to pick the Bengals too, but I'll go with the Chargers at home. I'll go with the Chargers. They have a good
Perfect.
defense. So we got three different picks. This
All
could
right,
really swing it.
maybe four.
It could end it for me or put me right back in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we have four
We have the
maybe.
Ravens at the Steelers now. This is the game of the week, the game to watch.
This team will be leading the division if they win. Steelers can get the big lead, but Ravens can have that game ahead.
is it on Sunday Night Football
It's
or?
not. It's a morning game actually.
Oh man, they
Yeah,
blew that.
I know.
They
Bengals and Chargers, unless they flexed it. Since I just
the
have a
Bengals and Chargers are the Sunday night game.
no, I have
Who is the Sunday night game?
Jets and Indy. Actually, you
Oh,
know what? They did flex it. I think.
they needed to flex that
I
game.
think they did. I mean, please hold.
And we're gonna check for you, but I hope that game's flexed because I would love to watch that.
Again, I only printed the sheet that has already been set from the beginning of the year. So,
Here we go, week 11.
the Sunday night game is Bagels and Chargers.
Oh, they did not flex it.
They did not flex it. So,
Which is
yeah, it's going to be a 10 a.m. morning game
Pacific
for the
Standard Time, 1
Pacific Standard
p.m.
Time.
Eastern Standard. So anyway,
Oh, it's a great
Ravens
game.
are going into Steel Curtain area. I'll go first on this one.
Okay.
I'm gonna believe in my Russell Wilson and the defense of the Steelers, the efficiency of the running game and the big play passes over the top by Russell Wilson will be too much for the Ravens to handle. I think it's going to be a close game. Ravens are going to give them everything they can handle, but in the end, I think I like Watt making a big play at the end of the game on uh,
Jackson. Lamar
Because Jackson, he does struggle in big games. So I'm going to take the Steelers in this one.
And I will take the Ravens, not just because I'm going against you, but I did have Ravens as my favorite at the beginning of the year. I have them in my Super Bowl pick. So in order to get there, I'm gonna.
Dude, we picked 4 different games. I could be right back in it, or I'm down 9. Oh no! Okay, this is gonna be interesting.
So I got the Ravens for sure. I think. That Bengal game was a warm up game for a tough divisional game. So they can do it. They can do it in Pittsburgh. So go Ravens.
Well, there you go. There's our picks. Let's hear about yours. Let us know. We'll post this and just comment. Let's see who you got, especially in the Ravens-Steelers game. Who do you have? We got Baltimore going into Pittsburgh this Sunday. The AFC North is on the line. Who do you got? Big game.
It's an exciting weekend.
Seahawks have a big game as well.
Yeah, they have the Niners.
We have to win a division game.
Yep.
And we're going to have to do it on the road.
Yep.
And if you want to show that you're a decent team and you've got a shot, it starts this Sunday. So big game. Seahawks win, they have a bright future this year. If they lose, season is over, done.
Okay. And for the Broncos, they play Falcons this week. Maybe a playoff team, but they need to rebound from the Chiefs, and I know it's hurting them in the locker room. And as a good team would do, they would just rebound and they would fight back. And they probably all have that chip on their shoulder. They're frustrated, just like any other football fan out there that's not a Chiefs fan.
I tell you what,
and I'm sure they are going to run the table. I'm calling it right now. It'll be tough to do, but it would be exciting to see. And I'm just saying it because you can look back to this tape and say that I called it.
And I feel sorry for the Falcons this week. I'm not going to lie. That defense is going to be pissed off.
Yeah, we are going to be Broncos stomping on some dirty birds.
Yeah, dirty birds. Anyway, that's our show for today.
I do have one more.
Whoa, here we go.
No, it's okay. I don't know. Football fans out there, college, NFL fans, I'm sure you heard. Kurt Herbstreit, this hits home for me too because I have a great a golden retriever. So Kurt Herbstreit, he is a football analyst on College Game Day Football and Thursday Night Football commentator. He had to put down his dog over the weekend or even before Thursday's game, and he made a beautiful tribute to his dog, Ben, who became a national dog favorite. And just want to say, I feel you, Kurt. I have a dog here. Kona, come here. So we'll get Kona on camera if we can. Kona.
Best dog ever.
Kona.
Oh, he was taking a nap.
He was taking a nap. He's a little old too, so he's gonna be 12 this year, but he's a good dog. Come here, Kona. Come here. Come on. I say hi. Come on. Oh,
there we go.
Oh. So yeah, this is Kona, but yeah, I feel for Kurt because I wouldn't know what I would do without Kona. So I know he's getting there. So
Kona even likes me.
But yeah, he's a good dog, and yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Kona, get your hair off me. Anyway, okay. Anything else you want to add?
Good.
All right, coming to you, Travis, Sean, and Kona. This is the end of the Section 325 podcast.
Second half.